Please give a huge round of applause in welcoming Dr. Santosh Bhave sir and CA Rahulji Mirazar sir. Good morning everyone. Welcome to day 2 of the International Conference on Inclusive Innovation for Sustainable Economic and Social Transformation, organized by MES GCC College of Commerce, Autonomous Pune, in esteemed association with the Center for Sustainable Development of Gokhale Institute of Politics and Economics, ILS Law College, and ICFAI Business School, IBS Pune. We begin this morning with a critical thinking session exploring the intersections of diversity, inclusion, creativity, leadership, and innovation. Our guest speaker for today is the titan of the industry, Dr. Santosh Bhave sir. Former Director of HR and Industrial Relations at Bharat Forge Limited, Dr. Bhave brings over 50 years of unparalleled experience to this forum. A practitioner with PhD and a master's in law, he has shaped the professional lives of countless individuals, including guiding 7 doctoral students to success. His contributions to the nation are vast, from serving on the Government of India's Expert Committee for amending the Factories Act to holding fellowships on international accreditation boards. A recipient of the NIPM Ratna and multiple Lifetime Achievement Awards, Dr. Bhave is widely recognized for his mastery of change management and talent development. Sir, your presence here is an honor for all of us. I request CA Rahul Mirazar sir to welcome and felicitate Dr. Santosh Bhave sir. Thank you so much, sir. Now we all are eager to hear you, so I request Dr. Santosh Bhave sir to take over the session and share your insights with us.
Morning, everyone.
Good morning, sir.
Well, friends, we will be having together for next about 60-minute time, and then in the meantime, only my one request. What distract me? I get distracted when anyone sitting on first row, second row, third row, if they are busy with their mobile, that distract me. So I would request all delegates to please pay attention in next about 60-minute time when we are in the midst of discussing important topic for conference today. CA Advocate Rahul Mirazar, Director of the Institute, all faculty members, and my dear students. I got a call from your college for last about 2 months back that I need to reserve these dates, and I did so. The reason is that during last about 5-6 years time, I have fallen in love with your institute. That's because not only professional approach but personal approach. I could experience the cultural upbringing I could witness maximum time management. I'm really happy that, as promised, this session is starting at given time. And then very important thing, that at the end of every session, I have received very learned question from delegates, students, participants. Let me tell you, like now you are graduating from this institute. Exactly 52 years back, I did my master's in management, and on 1st May 1973, I got my first job in one company as assistant personnel officer. And since then, I've been working for different companies. Last I worked with Bharat Forge Limited in the capacity of Director Human Resource and Industrial Relations. And from 2001 onwards, as a matter of ensuring transformation in me, I got connected with different academic institutes. You know, in organizations, you interact with issues, problems, reasons for profit, different types of policies, external pressure, and many times you don't get a solution. Because you know, all consultants, they had their selfish motive. They were money oriented, and then probably through me, they wanted to expand their business. So I stopped going to any companies. Then my bosses asked me, what is that you are going to do? Innovation. What I did from 2001 onwards, I got myself acquainted with different management institutes like Symbiosis Institute of International Business, Symbiosis Institute of Management Studies, and so on. And what I used to do, every day I always opted for visiting faculty evening classes. I told them that my class will start at 6:30 and then end maybe after 2 hours time. And many of you may be aware that Symbiosis, they have their residential program, and that was the reason students were available there. Now what was my selfish motive? Whatever policy failure, work failure, relationship failure I used to encounter at my workplace, evening for about 30-minute time, I used to sit down, and with the help of my couple of colleagues, I used to derive a case study on that. Changing the name of company, name of the characters, those who were involved in is there. And then, when I used to go to the class, I used to place this case study for the deliberation in my class. What used to happen? Me working in organization versus To encounter with them half a dozen solutions which I had received earlier day from my students. And then my HOD will jump on a couple of solutions and they will say, we will work one out of that. And let me tell you, largely we succeeded in this. Instead of going to professional paid consultants, I always opted, preferred, confirmed, and continued meeting with students like you, discussing with them live problems of organization, and then used to come out different types of solutions. Inclusive innovation for sustainable economics and social transformation. Like Madam has placed my introduction to you, thanks for that. I work all the time, last about 51 years and 8 months time, in different organizations. That is why I always encountered with issues related to innovation, sustainable growth, involvement of people working with us, not only insiders, but outsiders also. And therefore, I ensured a journey of social transformation in the span of last about 50 years' time. Let me start with my discourse with one story. Story means it is not picked up from any book, what I have experienced it personally. About 6 years back, on behalf of my employer, I had gone to Tumkur, which is the place near Bangalore, and I was told by my seniors that I should go and organize a campus interview of management students and engineers over there. So me, along with my couple of colleagues, they thought of traveling from Pune to Bangalore. We talk of inclusiveness, we talk of innovation, and we talk of transformation. 6 years back, they said, sir, this happening has really taught me how all these factors are involvement in anybody's life, and that too particularly, most of you in due course of time, you will be starting your journey in industries, maybe your own industry or somebody else's industry where you will be joining them as a partner. I got down on Bangalore airport. I had already requested Siddhaganga Institute that I will be traveling by flight, number of flight, name, Pune to Bangalore, and I got down. When I came out of airport, the gentleman from college was standing in a parking with a placard in his hand, Dr. Santosh Bhave, Director Human Resource, Bharat. So I met him, I introduced myself, and then I told him that let us now go. Incident and transformation journey starts from now. He shook his hand with me, and then he told me that your flight was 2 hours delayed. You must be feeling tired. Why can't we have one cup of coffee? On the way there is excellent South Indian filter coffee joint. So I said, okay, otherwise also flight. Normally in flight, those who have traveled, the type of coffee it is served, so I had declined. And I preferred to have coffee with him. He offered me coffee. After that, he said, that journey from this coffee point to our college is 2 hours and 40 minute time, Tumkur. Distance is not so far, but then in between there will be traffic jam and so many other things for us there. Then after 2 minute time, Mr. Narayanan, his name driver, he was a driver. He told me that the Sir Institute what you are visiting is very reputed institute from Karnataka. Though this institute is run by charitable religious trust, but then you will find in this institute co-education, respect for everyone, and then he said there is a separate hostel for girls. Every month we have a parent meetings, Narayan driver. He went on telling me that I will take you to our library. Our library has about 6,000 books in management, equal number of books on technical issues. And Narayana went on telling the number of e-books available in the library. Narayana told me that this campus spread over about 106 acres. And then, the moment we entered, he placed me in a guest house over there. And he said, this is your room. Take a rest. Exactly at evening 7:30, I will come and pick you up for dinner. When I will introduce you with our senior management team. Narayana won his uniform as a driver. 7:30, my room bell rang. I opened the door. Narayana was standing on a door with different uniform. And he said, now I represent my chairman. He took me to the chairman's lounge, introduced me in fluent English. All his seniors were there. And then he said that we will break for dinner exactly at 8:30. 8:30, Narayana came there to escort us to the dining room. Narayana was in different uniform. He took us to the dining room. He ensured spread over of all dishes there. And then he said that if you are not likely to go for bed so early, sir, our chairman is an elderly person, he will go. I will take you to our library. Narayana took me to his library. Some staff, they were sitting there. He introduced me staff and some students. Then he took me to one lounge where one photograph was displayed. And he said, sir, this is 2018. Do you remember in 2011, this lady, you are seeing the photograph, had undertaken the industry visit of this college to campus of Bharat Forge. Unfortunately, this lady is no more. She met with an accident there. But then, she has created this institute. After 9:30, he said, if you are going to bed, our sessions tomorrow morning is going to start at 10 o'clock. This is the religious institute and we have one temple known as MAT, M-A-T-H. If you don't mind, I would like you to please visit our MAT, meet our Swamiji. I said, that's fine, good idea, let me have a blessing of Swamiji. Next day morning, Narayana, perfectly in very clean Bhagwa uniform, he approached my doorstep and he said, I am taking you to the Swamiji. When we are entering Swamiji, I should also look like a Swamiji there. He took me there and like that, my friends, he ensured right up to departure. He ensured my comfort. He ensured dissemination of knowledge to me. He ensured giving complete information about the faculty, how many graduates, how many postgraduates, how many PhD holders. Not only that, he said about 6-7 faculties are there where they have submitted their thesis for PhD. Inclusiveness, social transformation. Journey starts now. Just before my superannuation from Bharat Forge, 3 months back, I had an opportunity to visit Siddhaganga Institute again in different capacity. Different person was there to escort me. Story repeated. And then he said, now I will introduce you our HOD. He took me to the HOD lawn and I was surprisingly shocked. Narayana, to whom I had met few years back, at that time he was studying, doing the job of driver, attendant. He completed all his education, started as a lecturer, and then rose to the position of HOD of management section of that institute for us there. Moral of the story is, ladies and gentlemen and my dear friends, inclusiveness and innovation starts right at the place where we live. Inclusive and innovation starts right at the place where we work. Transformation takes place at every moment. Only what is important is everyone has inertia in their mind. If this gets transformed, what will happen to me? Mera kya hoga Kalya? But then let me tell you that in days to come, in future, inclusiveness, innovation, ensuring sustainability, and then transformation. All these things will come into play in utmost effective manner, and then if we fail in understanding the importance of all these aspects, only one thing will be guaranteed to us, and that is failure. I am a student of organization behavior. I advocated throughout my life principles of organization behavior and then leading towards organization development. Doctoral thesis, what I had submitted to university, is based on attitudinal approach and change management. And then I practiced all aspects of that in my life. Therefore, in next about 40-minute time, what I will be discussing with you will be the principles based on organization behavior development, and then how this principle helps us in connecting ourselves for inclusiveness, innovation, social transformation, and sustainability. In my opinion, organization behavior relates with two parties, two individuals, or two sets of employees. And then I tell you, when I talk to you something of organization behavior, it is not applicable only to boss and subordinate. It is applicable to boss and group of individual. It is applicable to boss and team, and it is applicable between team and team. How you treat individual, that helps you to ensure your deep root in an organization for is there. I always believe one HR principle in my life. Appreciate in public and reprimand in private. What it means, if I want to appreciate someone, maybe the small thing, I need to ensure that I do that in public, not in private. But if I want to reprimand somebody, it means that I want to pinpoint certain negative aspects for is there. the cardinal principle of organization behavior demand that I should do that in private. Reason is, every individual has one important thing in his top compartment, and that is spelled as EGO, ego. Let me tell you, in sustainability, when you touch negatively for ego part, you will find negative result for sustainability, you will find negative result for involvement, you will find negative part as far as innovation is concerned, and then at the end of the day, not only individual suffers, but organization also suffers for is there. And therefore, whenever we work anywhere, we need to ensure that how do I keep my long-term goals for is there. All my student friends, they are sitting here. One need to ensure a long-term goal for individual. For example, we not think for next about 10 years time that what is going to happen after 10 years time. Or 10 years in my opinion is very long thing. Change is a permanent thing. And that is why in organization and in society, things are getting changed very often. But I would advocate that at least nothing wrong in thinking for next 4 to 5 years time. What am I going to do? What am I going to encounter for is there? And then what type of hobbies I am going to nurture for is there. Let me give you an example of my own family. My elder brother's son, he passed out his degree engineering from College of Engineering, Pune. Distinction holder, and then we were very happy. We distributed sweets in a family for us there. And this boy was sitting in a terrace on a swing. We asked him, what is that? I mean, you have graduated, good thing in our family, it has happened. He said, graduation in electronic, I don't want to enter in any organization, which truly speaking speaks only for engineering. I said, then what are you going to do with this degree? He put forward half a dozen photographs in front of me. He said, during my last 4 years' time, I always ensured that an orchestra team of my team members in engineering college, a COP band got created. And he said, tomorrow I am flying to Chennai. He said, what is it? He said, I have sought an appointment of A.R. Rahman. He got appointment of A.R. Rahman, returned back, and then interestingly he said, now I am seeking admission in Film and Television Institute. Fellow got admission in Film and Television Institute, completed his 3-year sound engineering program, and let me tell you, those who have seen Marathi cinema, sound recording and sound engineering, you will find number of time name Anmol Bhave, okay? He is my elder brother's son, okay? And I tell you, he did different type of transformation from his there. After his graduation, he received Rashtrapati Paritoshik, French government medal, Asian Festival Award winner, and number of Filmfare Award this young boy he received in his life. He said, per se, College of Engineering graduation I have forgotten. Then we asked him, why you did it? You wanted to go in film line, why you did? He said, because my dad and mom want me to complete engineering course, because he said there is no substitute from engineering. Therefore I did engineering. Then I asked him, why you did? He said, what I'm doing is engineering. It's a thing which is coming for innovation. And he said, what do you mean by engineering? Dictionary meaning for engineering, it speaks for innovation, sustainability, create something new, bridge the gap. And he said, what I'm doing, I'm engineering certain thing. In our entire Bhave family, no one had dared to enter film industry. I transformed that. He asked his father, over the years you worked in bank and now on a pension. I am not comparing, neither making you to sit down. But then, now I have a team of about 40 people, those who are working with me. I am telling them what to innovate for us there. And that is why, my dear friends, what I say, down the line after 4 or 5 years' time, respecting the vision of your parents, try to be bold, try to tell that suppose if I want to have my independent personality in society, what type of social transformation and innovation I would look upon. And then please go ahead with this. I have placed before you one live example from my family, a success story for us there. I personally believe, I was talking with your professors just in hall, that what is my preference? My preference is only to deal failure stories. I don't love success stories. And if you really tell failure stories, that will help you to do a lot of innovation and lot of transformation for us there. So let me place before you some important point, in my opinion, which will help you to do a social transformation, innovation, and then will make you to stand on your own in society. Number one, sustainability cannot be considered as a compulsion. It's not a factor of choice. It's a factor of preference. Sustainability is a factor of preference. When I think for getting sustained myself in society, I think for generation of knowledge, generation of experience. And let me tell you, I am a person from human capital development. That is why I would always crave and carve for not experience, but I would always place my importance for relevant experience. Whenever I interviewed guys, when I was in Bharat Post, sir, I might have interviewed at least 30 to 35,000 candidates. Out of that, maybe I might have given offer letter to 20,000 guys. What I always feel, that whether individual has started his journey from a scratch, how many failures has he encountered in his life? Was he a self-starter? And then, with all this ABC, what type of transformation he has done? Therefore, I consider sustainability as a preference. You don't have any choice. You all about 100, 200 young minds are sitting here in this August gathering. If you wish to sustain, my personal advice is, daily please ensure abreast yourself with what is happening in society. Not only from political point of view, but from points which relates to the social, society, economics, international trade, national trade, internal pressure, external pressure. When all this thing comes together, that will compel you to think for innovation. I have developed this habit. I go for teaching daily in symposiums, and one thing I always tell my students there, Times of India, Economic Times, Financial Express, Business India, Mint, and if you have hobby, go ahead for Sakal also. But then all these papers with issues related to economics, social transformation, industrial pressure, all these things you touch upon. 8 days back, we never might have thought a country like Venezuela, US will overpower that. And that is only because of oil. Trump is saying my next goal is Cuba. How that is going to impact our economy? We can't be a silent spectator for that. Therefore, try to get assimilated with what exactly is happening in society from economic point of view. And all these things are touching daily. Let me tell you, we talk of sustainability. I work in an industry for is there. With my friends, at number of companies this year, organizations have deferred in giving annual increments. Now you would say, what is that? Why organization? Individual has worked for last 30, 365 days, and then legally, logically, ethically, he is expected to earn his increment, right? But what companies are saying, out of my total market, if market is equivalent to 100, my 75% was exported to US, and then that is subjected to 55% tariff. Now my market out of 100, 75% got dropped down. Bosses told guys, please come out with some innovative ideas. And then I tell you, that was linked with annual increments, sir. He said, 50% performance appraisal will be done on the basis of what you have done last year. I never anticipated that Trump will impose 50% tariff on India. It has come now. Now if you give different type of novel idea, each idea will warrant 10% additional merit equivalent to balance 50%. Innovative idea. And let me tell you, this idea got from none other than Sir, our Union President. He said, if industry is facing a turbulence, people should not be uncomfortable with it. They should also be challenged to place some innovative idea to ensure sustainability of industry. Next important point is to ensure innovation, sustainability, everywhere one is expected to cultivate the synergy of success. What it means that if I go on talking of somebody, negative, someone will say that this person is having specialization only for negative output. What synergy of success states? Every individual has maximum negative point. I do have, everyone will have. But every individual is also competent to succeed on certain point. Glorify those success point and ensure that maximum publicity should be given to success point. Therefore, create an environment of success stories in an organization on the footing of failures. When you talk synergy of success in organization, in society, everywhere, people would start believing that I am also competent and able to contribute something for the betterment of organization as well as betterment for society. I am with you that in society, when we talk of transformation, there need to be an economic will, there need to be a social will, and there need to be even political will also. Because policies for executors are framed by politicians, and therefore involving ourselves to ensure that right political will gets echoed in a society. Young guys like you are entrusted with the responsibility to ensure that for future right political framework will get floated, and therefore there will be economic sustainability, there will be a social transformation, and there will be also opportunities for individual growth. Next important thing for sustainability, in my view, it speaks for decision making. Not taking decision is also decision. Taking quick decision is also decision. But giving decision which is based on logic, which is based on a fact, and which is based on a data, that speaks and echoed for correctness in decision. And I tell you, those who are interested for taking a responsibility for giving decision, they need to be interested with, if I take this decision, how there are going to be positive or negative impact on A, present, B, near future, and C, long term. So there has to be some short term and long term strategy that must get dwelt, it is there. For example, examination system. I was talking to one of the professor just before start of this, and I suggested that as and when this institute of this repute are organizing any HR symposium on social transformation and innovation, there has to be a long, in-depth deliberation as far as failure stories. Failure always teaches us the right path. Deciding and deliberating only on success stories will take you to the present satisfaction. But failure always teach you what should I not do in next about 6 months time down the line. Therefore, decision making play a very, very important part in innovation, in social transformation, in defining the synergy, and therefore taking right decision at right time in the interest of all team members working with a decision maker plays a very, very pivotal role. And next important thing which comes here for ensuring all these aspects is a culture building. I always dwell upon culture. Culture is never taught in management institute. Individual gets imbibed and tuned with the culture right from individual's family. You know, there was one Marathi cinema. Many of you, if you have seen or if you remember, Satya Adghara. You know, story apart, what happened in that cinema. But let me tell you, it was everything with the culture. The shooting was done at Chandni Chowk here. Satya Adghara. What is it there? Speaks something about the culture. Night parties, being away under the guise of meeting my friend and be away somewhere at the undesired place. All these things can get avoided. Yesterday we heard in opening speech, okay? Indian mythology always speaks and gives emphasis on Indian culture. And I tell you, I am a firm believer of that. I am a firm believer of imbibing culture. If you have a strong thread knit of culture in individual family, then needless to say, that gets penetrated down at your workplace, that gets penetrated down at your friendship and in society also. क्रियेविना वाचाळता सर्व व्यर्थ आहे. बोले तैसा चाले त्याची वंदावी पावले. All this, what our ancestral leaders they said, everything depicts with the culture. And therefore, in every organization where I work, I echoed one cultural phenomena everywhere. Disagreement is not a crime. But leaving the meeting with agreement on disagreement, that is the first important thing. Disagree, no problem. In organization, there are certain unwritten rules that helps you to do the transformation for us there. And therefore, if you have the best culture with you, that helps you. Next important point in innovation, cultural imbibing and social transformation, and that comes as a engagement scenario. In our parallel language of HR, employee capability, it is called as a employee engagement practices. Now I tell you, on inclusiveness, innovation, economic development and everything, employee engagement plays very, very important role. I don't know how many of you are aware or had an opportunity to visit site Great Place to Work. Please raise hand. Anyone? Unfortunately, not a single hand is raised. Rightly so, because I get more or less similar reply when I ask this question to practicing managers. Great Place to Work is a site. When you go back home and as and when you get a time, I urge you and advocate that please visit this site. You must be visiting number of sites, but please visit Great Place to Work site. What it say? Why some companies are preferred as companies famous for inclusiveness, companies famous for innovation, companies famous for economic and social transformation. My dear friend, the secrecy is employee engagement. And I tell you, in Great Place to Work on this site, you will find a list of at least 100 companies which in alphabetical order are depicted as the best companies in different segment in India, where you would consider those companies as Great Place to Work. The reason is all those things, inclusiveness, transformation, innovation, and involvement of people over there are 100% executed over there. The executor of Great Place to Work, they visit your organization, they meet the people, there will be online survey, confidential way, you are free to speak whatever you wish about your boss, about your colleague, about the practices of inclusiveness, the type of innovative practices available over there, and then that organization will define the ranking of your organization, because before that, it is advisable for every organization to ensure that you must ensure at what level your employees are considered as an engaged employee in organization. There are two types of employees, in my opinion. One, employed employee, and second one, engaged employee. I would describe. If I am an employed employee, on Monday morning, I will come to factory and then immediately I will look at calendar when Saturday is coming. So I am concerned for my basic DA, HRA, conveyance allowance, canteen, 2 punch lunch. He is an employed employee. Engaged employee, when he comes to the office on Monday and somebody tells him that down the line after 6 days time there is Saturday, his immediate question is, why Saturday is coming so early here? I wanted to do so many innovative things. I have a number of projects in my hand. And then, I have taken some innovation project that is going to help maybe a simple way to society. And then, I'm quite sure that I will have to work on even Saturday and Sunday, and because customers are coming on next Monday. I need to place before them the trajectory of environment, economics, and how it is going to impact. Therefore, in every organization, there has to be a high level of employee engagement which will take you to great place to work. And that is why whenever I work with organization, I tend to focus few things, and that is not exception even for academic institute, even for institute like manufacturing organization where I work, or even government. Number one, to ensure that there has to be a sustainable effort. What do you mean by sustainable? The action what I am taking today, there is going to be a positive impact of that in years to come. In our management parlance, it is called as a positive accountability. When you think for giving positive accountability, that directly depicts for your leadership. And that is 100% related with the theme of our project. Next important thing, what it comes as, for everything what you do, there has to be a long-term visibility in everything. But I personally feel, I was just going through a Harvard Business School magazine. Time which was given to me is coming to an end. My personal view is that whenever we think for social transformation, we think for anything about economics. Normally those who are sitting in a cabin, leadership, they always ensure that I will do that. But I want to believe that it's not that only leader need to do. Someone who is facing on front line, he or she should be given responsibility. And then probably I am selfish. I work all 51 years only in manufacturing organization. Manufacturing organization will give you lessons for everything. Innovation, sustainability, social transformation, and inclusiveness. By ensuring that the people, those who are at receiving end, they should be given proper importance. Therefore, to end my session, I place before you, I read a lines from Harvard Business School magazine. Every brilliant strategies fail if frontline employees don't execute them well. Many leaders struggle to help their frontline and buy into newer ways, innovative ways, by telling them, we will do it next time. For innovation, there is no next time. The time is always now. Involve so many as your employees as possible, especially those who interact with your customers, internal or external. Make them part of your process by bringing them together and cultivate the think tank within the organization. Ask them for their input about how organization can achieve the transformation and innovative practices. Frontline employees who help make strategy are far more likely to be stellar job in executing it. This is a mantra towards architecture of sustainability and increasing resilience and transformation of economic, not only in industry but with society. Thank you very much. I started at 10:45. It is 11:30 and I take my seat over here. If anyone wishes to ask any question for next about 5-10 minute time, depending on what time organization allows, I am willing to answer the queries. Thank you. God bless you.
Thank you, sir. As we have come to an end of this session, I would like to express a formal vote of thanks. With our gratefulness, Dr. Santosh Bhave sir, thank you so much for your masterclass in leadership and innovation. Your 5 decades of experience have provided us with the roadmap for the transformation. Thank you so much, sir. We will be starting with the closing ceremony in next 5 minutes, so I request everyone to be seated in the auditorium. Thank you.
शार्दुल
काम करत आहेत तर म्हणले कुठं पाठवतो 60-70 कालच म्हणले
I request Yashodosh Kulkarni sir to please be on the dais. I also request Dr. Santosh Kumar sir to please be on the dais.
मैं बोल रहा हूँ पीछे से नहीं आगे मत कुछ पीछे से निकाल कुछ क्लोज निकाल क्लोज क्या निकालेगा तो एक जो क्लोज ही निकाल रहा है निकाल के अरे तुम लोग आ रहे हैं बीच में इधर सर ऑन है काय
Good morning, one and all. Since yesterday, we all have witnessed some thought-provoking sessions by the experts in the field, informative research paper presentations, and interesting panel discussions. We are now approaching the end of this 2 days international conference on inclusive innovations for sustainable economic and social transformation. Respected dignitaries on the dais, off the dais, participants, delegates, teachers and students, I, Dr. Rohini Gote from MES GCC, welcome you all for this valedictory session of this conference. We have on the dais Dr. Ravikesh Srivastava, Chancellor of Vijay Bhumi University, Pro Vice Chancellor of SPPU, Professor Sanjeev Sonawne, Vice Chancellor of YCMOU, Nashik. We also have Shri Pradeep Naik, Vice President of MES, C.A. Shri Rahul Mirazar, Member of Governing Body, Principal Dr. Kishore Desai, Dr. Tanuja Devi, Professor Dr. Deepa Patulkar, Principal of IRIS Law College, Shri Ashutosh Kulkarni, and Financial Board, Dr. Santosh Bhavi. Once again, I welcome you all for this valedictory session. Now we are going to begin with the introduction and felicitation of the chief guest for this occasion. To start with, I'll introduce Dr. Ravikesh Srivastava. Dr. Ravikesh Srivastava has over 35 years of rich academic experience. He recently joined Vijay Bhumi University as its Vice Chancellor. He has made significant contributions to teaching, research, consultancy, executive training, and academic administration. Prior to this role, Dr. Srivastava served as Professor of Economics, Vice Chancellor Officiating, and Pro Vice Chancellor at IMS Unison University, Dehradun for over years. He focused on academic administration, strategic planning, and outcome-based assessments. As Dean of Academics at IMT Ghaziabad, he led all academic activities and ensured compliances with AACSB standards. He worked as Professor of Economics at SP Jain Institute of Management and Research, Mumbai, spearheading international accreditations such as AACSB and AMBA. He participated in global AACSB conferences in the USA, China, and Thailand. Dr. Srivastava served for nearly a decade at the Ford School of Management, New Delhi, as Professor of Economics and Strategy, where he held key administrative roles. Earlier in his career, he worked at IIM Lucknow, contributing to World Bank funded development projects, and at Mahatma Gandhi Chitrakoot Gramoday Vishwavidyalaya in Madhya Pradesh. Dr. Srivastava's academic interests include managerial economics, strategy, business environment, development economics, and social impact assessment. Till date, he has published 25 research papers in reputed journals and co-authored the best-selling book, Managerial Economics, Principles and Worldwide Applications with Dominic Salvatore, which is published by Oxford University Press. He has supervised 4 PhD scholars in management and authored over 15 impact reports for developmental projects. Dr. Srivastava has designed and conducted over 30 management development programs for senior and middle-level professionals, training more than 300 executives. He has also provided consultancy for prominent organizations including HPCL, GSCL, HCIL, and Maruti Suzuki. I now request Shri Pradeep Naik sir to felicitate Dr. Srivastava. Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir. I would now like to introduce Professor Parag Karkar. Dr. Parag Karkar holds MCom, MMS Finance, PhD and FDP, IIMA, and has more than 24 years of teaching experience. He is serving as the Pro Vice Chancellor at Savitribai Phule Pune University since August 2023, contributing over 2 decades of academic leadership to drive the institutional growth. Dr. Karkar has been the director of Sinhagad Institute of Management. He is also the former Dean of Faculty of Commerce and Management and member Academic Council and Senate at Savitribai Phule Pune University. He has also served as treasurer for Association of Indian Management Schools. Till date, he has published 36 research papers in national and international research journals and authored or co-authored 17 books. I would now request Shri Pradeep Naik sir to felicitate Dr. Karkar. Thank you, sir. I would now take the opportunity to introduce Professor Dr. Sanjeev Sonawne. Dr. Sanjeev Sonawne is currently the Vice Chancellor, Yashwantrao Chavan Maharashtra Open University, Nashik. He has done MSc in Educational Communication, MA in Distant Education, Master in Physical Education, and PhD. He is the former Pro Vice Chancellor of Savitribai Phule Pune University. Previously, he has held various key positions at Savitribai Phule Pune University, such as Director, School of Education, Head, Department of Education and Extension, Director, Faculty Development Center, Coordinator, National Resource Center, Dean, Faculty of Interdisciplinary Studies, Dean, Faculty of Education, Director in charge of UGC HRDC, Director, School of Open Learning, In charge Director, Board of Examination and Evaluation, Member Management Council, and Registrar Officiating. Till date, he has authored 18 books and 2 chapters in books and 42 journal articles. His publications have impressive citation index. Dr. Sonawne has supervised 32 PhD scholars and 22 MPhil scholars. For his contribution to the field of education, he he is decorated with various scholarships and awards. He secured Lance Palm Teacher Exchange Scholarship in 2004 and 2010 by Government of Sweden and School of Education and Communication, Jönköping University, Sweden. He has also secured the NCP EDP Mindtree Helen Keller National Award in 2012 and Award for Eminence IATE in 2019. I now request Shri Pradeep Naik sir to felicitate Dr. Sonawade. Thank you, sir. I now request Dr. Ravikesh Srivastava, Vice Chancellor of Vijay Bhumi University, to present his address.
So, good morning, everyone. Honorable distinguished guest sitting on the dais, honorable members of the board, dear colleagues, vice chancellors, principals, professors, teachers, and dear students. It's my privilege to be here on the day 2, the valedictory sessions, and I am sure that these 2 days was much meaningful, and there will be great learning moving forward with such type of events, conferences, and I am really happy to see that MES Garware College of Commerce along with the Center of Sustainable Development, Gokhale Institute, Politics and Economics organized this international conference. Such type of events and conference give the wonderful opportunities to interact and move towards the peer learning. Such learning is not going to just for these 2 days, but this type of networking will further continue whatever we have discussed, whatever we have gained, and how we can come together to work together. I would like to start with this topic in a very different way, that whatever we are going to face nowadays. Yesterday I was just going through, just watching the news and came to know that there's a possibility that the US is thinking the 50% tariff may go up to 500%. What is the meaning? What is the consequences? And why such? International trade, since I was the student of the economics, I heard that India is always the trade deficit country. I would like to share some of the data. In the November, the trade deficit is at $24 billion, which was in October $41 billion. How this drastic gone down? This is the way that we have tried to move towards innovations, towards research. How these trade deficit can be minimized? We are hearing that by 2047 we are going to be the Viksit Bharat. How it is possible? The only way that we can, I think, go with the many way that this could be done, this could be done, this could be done. But I would like to focus only this, research and development, innovations. These are the only way that you can see that the India is also going to be the developed nations. Many of the developed nations, they are spending almost 10 to 20% of their budget towards the R&D. But if you see the India or any institution, any country, any company, anything, hardly you are spending 5% or towards the research and development.
These institutions are only the place of the knowledge dissemination, or sometimes we can also think to knowledge creation. How our future generations is going to learn something different, because we can experience the technology is changing so fast. Whatever we had just experienced 5 years, 10 years back, nowadays there is no use. So until we are going to focus very much towards the innovations, research, knowledge creation, I think we are not going to compete with this world. And to reduce this trade deficit, we have to think very seriously how we can enhance the innovations, enhance the research. Like 500%, Trump can do anything. What will do? It's not like that India is not going to affect. US is I think, best trade partners of India. We are having the good dollar in our country only with trading with the US. So definitely it's going to affect. What is the solution? How we can think seriously to be self-reliant in many parts, whether it is technology, whether it is anything, defense, energy, medical, science. This is the only way to come up with these type of challenges. And sometimes these challenges always bring some opportunities also. So we have to take such challenges in a very positive note. This 50% tariff, or maybe it is going to be more or whatever, take as opportunities. Because once we are going with a very difficult situation, then we start to think about the innovations. Then we start to think of some alternatives. And that is the time our research starts. Believe me, our Indians are full with the intellectuals, are full with the hard-working, skill, dedication, commitments, everything. I had personally experienced, when I was in IIM Lucknow, I was working with the World Bank projects. I traveled across the states, and the project was the agriculture and rural. And I was mesmerized to see the innovations of the farmers on their field. Just imagine. That time you can say, what is the innovations? So in this project, I think I was involved in 20 years back, 25 years back, 2001, 2002. That time you used to use the word one, jugaad. Have you heard this word? This is the, you can say, the good transformation of the same word, and now we are hearing these words, innovations. These rural fields, you will see amazing innovations they are practicing on their field. Because innovations, when it is possible, once you are too much involved with the process, and during the process, if you see that there is a challenge, there is some bottlenecks, or you want to improve the efficiency, and then you start to think out of the box, and then you try to do some innovations with your processes. That is the times you can come out with some different products, different way of services. That is what all about innovations. And believe me, from Kerala to the north, you just go and interact with these farming community or any field and just document their innovations. No country can compete with us. This is the way innovative practices are being used by our community. But where we are lacking? We are lacking in the how to market, how to positions, how to scale up, how to sustain, how to recognize such type of efforts. If you believe me, if you are going to recognize then these unsung hero could be some different figures, not only in your country but across the world. There are some researches, some innovations are like that. So innovations and research, this is the outcome of this conference, I am sure. What is the difference between these two? And these two verticals are very important moving forwards. Research is something where we are thinking seriously to produce some new knowledge, new theory, where we validate and move forward. That is the knowledge creation. But innovations, research in incubation, where outcome could be the research paper or in conference paper, whatever. And another way, another path where innovation incubation, research incubation, innovation, where they are going to develop some product for the industry or think about the startup or develop a product where they can go for patent, copyright, etc., etc., etc. So these are the two way of the knowledge creation. Which is the future? Which is the future? Because everything changing so fast, and you have to, this young generation has to take as a opportunities. The moment you start to think out of the box, everyone moving this direction, let me go with this direction, let me explore. And if you would like to give challenge to yourself, there is a greater possibility that you can come out with some new product in your hand, where you can think moving forward. And if you just new products, just connect with the 2-3 words. Is it scalable? Is it sustainable? Then definitely you are going to be the futuristic leaders, particularly in the innovations. So these are the area. Education should not be limited in the classroom learning. Let something experience, working together, learning together, and take risk. Most important. Don't think that whether you are going to be fail or whatever. The moment you fail with your innovative ideas, it is not a failure. It is something you are learning something new. Steve Jobs failed many times. Many times. Finally, he was very much depressed. And he was at one point of time, he was thinking not to survive or not to live. Then someone advised him, he visited India, he traveled some part of the India, he gained something, and then again he went back and he started innovations, and now you can see the Apple is the just world leader. Just hearing that the Google is going to compete with the Apple. So these are the company, Apple or Google. Nothing special. Special is only in terms of the innovations. They can sense what the future is going to be changed. They can sense that what the future consumer is having the taste. And accordingly, they are changing the products. Accordingly, they are changing the services. So they are not just working for the today's, but they are also working for the tomorrow's. This is all about the innovations. And believe me, this innovation, this particular word, is as much as lying with these young generations, no one else. The young generation, I always believe, so creative. Only as a teacher, we need to sharpen. We need to facilitate. We need to motivate. And just forget about the fail or success. Move forward. As much as you failed, you are learning more. You are refining more. You are differentiating more. That is the way of journey. And one day, you can be there, like Apple, like Google. Many Indian students, and nowadays top 10 fortune company is not being led by none other than Indians. So you have a tremendous potential. You have to recognize that potential. And that is the best way to start thinking like an innovative person. Out of the box. Just forget about who is thinking what with your innovations. Might be they are laughing initially because any innovations come with a such type of, but once you are going to succeed step by step, reforming every times, then you can reach there. So most of the times you are thinking only the stage 1, stage 2. Innovation is like a computer or games. Stage 1, stage 2, stage 3, and then once you are reaching to stage 7 or stage 8 or stage 9, then you are started to enjoy and there is no end of journey. So that is the way that you please continue your journey of innovations, and once you start, you will see that the lot of hands will come to you to support you, to provide the resources to facilitate you. And for any venture capitalist, there is no dearth of scarcity of money. They are looking for some good innovative ideas. They are ready to fund you. So can we think our innovative idea to reach where the venture capitalists should come and knock your door? That is also possible. Even India is already started. Bangalore, Pune, these are the cities where these venture capitalists are available. They are looking for the innovative ideas. So once you have an idea and you are working in a group or whatever possible, seriously, moving to the stage 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then you see that the venture capitalists will start to. So this is the future. And if you are moving towards this direction, there is no end. Education is required. I am not saying that compromise with the education. But along with the education, you have to work to simultaneously on the two parts. One is the skill, and skill is only possible once you are involved with the processes. As much as you can spend your time in the labs, computers, technology, then you can see the skill is developing. A skill is something, it's not possible that overnight you can develop the skill. Any field. And third very important component is the attitudes. Usually, it is not formally educated in a classroom, but it's a very important quotients, parameters, and nowadays company would like to rate every individual most of the times based on your ethics and value system, that is the attitudes. How you think about the other citizens fellow. How you think about the downtrodden communities. How you want to give back to the society. These are the something which is very important to sharpen your attitudes. And once you have a positive attitudes, everything is possible and everything could be in your hand. So these are the KSA approach, knowledge, skill and attitude. These are the new way of the learning. Learning should not be limited only with the knowledge and book. Learning should not be only in the formal way of learning. Informal, like here you are sitting, interacting each others, having your questions, doubt, and going with the discussion. This is the informal set of the learning. Peer learning, sitting on the tea, having tea and then you discussing with your group. Maybe sometimes you get some innovative idea from some discussion and you can start to think in that directions. And slowly you are moving more deeper, having some good read and going with the more research and come out of some new services, new product. That is what we call the innovations. So this is the way that if you continue this journey of the learning, then future in your hand. And this is the way we can see the India is going to be the Viksit Bharat. And Viksit Bharat, once you are in taking the leadership position in 2047, then you should be in commanding positions. You are going to drive the country. And this is the time you can decide what will be your future role. So be innovative, be sincere, and always think out of the box. With these words, my best wishes to all of you. Thank you. Thank you.
Dr. Ravikesh Srivastava.
You have made the concept of innovation so simple and familiar to us because we all know Jugaad, and he used a term just to elaborate that we need to recognize the potentials in us to become self-reliant. Thank you, sir, for your speech. Before we proceed, I would request Shri Pradeep Naik, sir, to felicitate Mr. Ashutosh Kulkarni, sir. Mr. Ashutosh Kulkarni,
She Global. They are the sponsors, supporters for our conference.
thank you, sir.
I would now request Professor Parag Karkar, sir, to present his speech.
Dignitaries on the dais, Vice President of Maharashtra Education Society, Pradeep Naik sir, Vice Chancellor of Yashwantrao Chavan, University, Dr. Sanjeev Sonavane sir, Vice Chancellor of Vijay Bhumi University, Dr. Ravikesh Srivastava sir, CA Rahul Srivastav ji, Rahul Mirajdas, Dr. Santosh Bhave sir, Deepa Paturkar madam, Principal of this college Kishore Desarara sir, Tanuja Devi madam, Ashutosh Kulkarni, all the distinguished students, learned colleagues from Gokhale Institute, ILS Law College, ICFF, Business Schools, YCMU, and international delegate from Kedge Business School. I think we have gathered here this afternoon to conclude this 2 days intellectual discourse. This valedictory session is not merely a formal end of calendar event, but a moment of critical synthesis. We are here to consolidate the diverse streams of thoughts, legal, economic, and commercial, that have converged over last 48 hours under the banner of inclusive innovation. Innovation within a social framework. The center thesis of this conference have been transition from growth-centric model to transformation-centric models. In our technical session, I have seen that we have interrogated the concept of innovation not as purely technological artifact, but as a socio-economic catalyst. In a world increasingly defined by the Great Divide, our discussions have underscored that inclusive innovation must be disruptive on its intent, but equitable in its impact. Whether through the lens of economic transformation discussed, I think, Gokhale Institute, or the regulatory frameworks analyzed by ILS Law College, the consequences remains. Innovation devoid of inclusively, it's a failure of academic and social responsibility. Interdisciplinary synthesis. The Pune Intellectual Corridor, the collaboration between this prestigious institute represent a triple helix of academic excellence. The economic perspective, we have analyzed how micro-level policies must filter down to micro enterprises to ensure sustainable livelihoods. The legal perspective, we have explored how jurisprudence must evolve to protect the commons and ensure that the intellectual property does not become a barrier to basic human needs. The commercial perspective, we have examined the shift towards ESG, that is environmental, social, and governance metrics as the new gold standard for corporate viability. The research paper presented are supported by the technical expertise from ICMAI and the reach of IGNOU have made significant contribution to the existing body of literature. We have removed the needle from theoretical sustainability to actionable and evidence-based transformation. Evaluating sustainable development goals, as we examine the butterfly motif and the SDG wheel in our program, we remain of 2030 agenda when only 4 years remaining until 2030 milestone. The papers presented in conference provide a vital midterm scholarly audit. We have seen that the business as usual is no longer viable academic or corporate posture. The multidisciplinary approach adopted here is only methodology capable of adding the wicked problems of climate change, resource scarcity, and social inequality. In my concluding remark, that is very important, the scholars and the research presenters here, your work does not end with the publication of conference proceeding. The true value of an international conference lies in the post-conference discourse. I urge all the presenters that you refine your hypothesis based on the peer feedback received here to seek cross-institutional collaboration. I commend the MES GCC College of Commerce for providing this autonomous platform of high-level intellectual exchange. Your vision of bringing together such diverse knowledge partners from Bhandarkar Institute to ICMOU has created a truly holistic academic ecosystem as explained in the National Education Policy 2020. May your insight generated here serve as a foundation for more resilient, inclusive, and sustainable global society. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Karkar, sir. From theoretical sustainability to practically implementable goals, he has given a kaleidoscopic view of what we discussed, what we debated and deliberated throughout the conference. I also thank you, sir, for your words of appreciation for the organization of this conference. I would now request Professor Dr. Sonawne, sir, to present his views.
Namaskar and Vande Mataram. He, the MES GCC College of Commerce, has really done a good job having a very excellent theme of a time. And for this concluding session, we have on the dais the Vice President of MES, Honorable Naik Sir, Srivastav Sarji, Parag Kalkarji, just now both had interacted with you. Then Mirajkar sir is there, Patorkar madam is there, and also who had shouldered this conference responsibility, and all of this. And friends, the theme, it has some keywords. That's the inclusion. Second is the economics, sustainability, and then we say that transformative society, and another in bracket is a multidisciplinary approach. These are the key, actually, the words, and we have to understand it very truly as a one individual. The interesting thing is that social transformation. Social transformation in India, we have seen so many models and so many examples. But I think every model start with individual, first from us. And sustainability, to understanding it is, it is easy to write a question or answer in a subject for university or college examination, and to get a mark on sustainability, what is meant by sustainability, how to practice it, that is again easy. But the practice in a daily life, it became a challenge. And for that purpose, I will give you a very simple example of our nation. Bharat, in 1978, our country has has utilized all the resources which was actually with us. And 1978 is a threshold year. After that, we are using all the resources of a next generation. And this is it. It may be a water, it may be mineral, it may be anything. We are using just now all the natural resources which we have at this country of a next generation. Then what will be the solution for it? And for that purpose, I said that we have to follow and visit again the Mahatma Gandhi. And why this is happening? You may agree with me that the Gandhiji's thought on this sustainable thought is very interesting. All the world is following it, understanding it, and try to walk on their thoughts. And that is the don't live or don't practice or don't behave as a wish, but you have to live according to your needs. And that is why the individual has to identify their own needs and not the wish. Wish can be anything. I need something, and I can wish something. And wish has no limit. It can be anything. Suppose the sustainable, and for that purpose, very simple, the ecological footprint of an individual, we have to count. You can count it. So if you want to individually contribute as a sustainable person or sustainable practices person of this nation, and then you have to calculate your own individual the ecological footprint. And for that purpose, I will give you simple example. Take one cup of tea. So how many ingredients are there? Sugar is there, milk is there, water is there, tea powder is there, and then some fuel is needed to boil it and cook it. And then we will have a 2 spoon of sugar. We will take an example of that. To produce and to yield a 2 spoon of sugar, how much sugar cane will be needed in a farm, and to produce that sugar cane, how much water will be utilized, what will be the ingredients in the soil will be utilized, what will be the efforts of a farmer will be utilized, and after that will be the sugar will be produced. And you have to calculate from your like this. How much will it? If I stop using, I am taking a 4 cup of tea. Instead of that, I stop 2. I think the natural resources which will be utilized to produce all these ingredients will be avoided. And this is the sustainable practices by which way we have to understand it very well. Then calculate yourself own ecological footprint, how many resources I am using of a nature, and which is of a need and which is of a wish. And that for that purpose, afterwards you will realize that your contribution for the sustainable as a individual, and then this mission, you could tell to your friend, tell to your family members. I think I'm not saying that you avoid to take a tea, but how many time you are taking, that can be reduced. You are taking a 1 cup of tea, you can come to the half of it. So half of the resources of a nature will be saved. And this can be practiced by yourself. And if 1 or 2 friends will be joined, 1 or 2 family members will be joined, or so many peers will be joined, and this is the social transformation to save our natural resources by which we can say that sustainable life can be achieved. And for that purpose, you have to understood first who I am, what is my life, in that life, what if I am going to produce it, and what are resources of this nation's soil is I am, and earth is I am using it. And this is the very important thing. The battle is started in nations. You may have seen what is happening in the globe now. The two things are very important. One is the minerals. Everybody is fighting for the minerals now, and again in that the rare minerals, because everything. Why the gold prices are going up? Why the silver prices are going up? The next is the lineup is the copper, and another so many. So these are the things, the minerals, which is coming from the earth. That means the natural resources and fighting will be between them. Another one important thing is that we have to see for it the data. Data is the next platinum. It is not only the gold, it is a platinum. So how many data we are creating, how many data about us we are understanding it, analyzing it, and if just now you can read. I will appeal to you, everybody. You read the Hindu, and in that there is a one data point. How many people are reading this? So I pay attention towards you. You please note down. You read out every article of a data point in the Hindu. You will get a lot of analysis, graphs, and everything which used by the AI, and whatever may be why the women are poor in India, why men and women are not safe in the population studies, and demography of men and women is going to change, and due to that, what are the social causes? Now I was in Pune, but now in Nashik. Last month there was one NGO, and they had decided to have one program to help the people for the widows and widowers. And they call so many people, and they at that time they have one camp for them, and I will tell you 4,000 male came, and only 10 women came for there, and they have to cancel the function. There was a men and women also आपला जो विवाह जोडून देण्यासाठी होता. So why these situations are coming? We have to see that the social transformation, attitude, and all these things. In that example, which I said that regarding the tea, cup of tea, avoiding it, economics is also involved in that. There are so many things we have to consider regarding this, and for that purpose, the next generation, you are the Gen Z people, not many. We have to understood it not only connecting with from morning to evening, but also to convert it into. The JP Nayak, one was the educationalist from Pune, and he said that we want to transform the society, and education is the one of the two. But fact is that the education, before education, society transforming through all these medias and connectivist pedagogies. And for that purpose, again we have to write our education, and whatever may be the mind of a young generations to be changed. For that purpose, connectivist pedagogy we have to use. And just now, this Srivastav sir had rightly said that you have to contribute as a responsible citizen of this country to Vikasit Bharat 2047. Automatically, it will not happen. We have to finalize our own role as a sustainable person, also your personality as a multidisciplinary. You have a lots of opportunity due to NEP 2020. Now you are doing a BA or MA in economics. You can do music also. You can do commerce also. You can do others also. So at a simultaneously, you can have a you can have a other degree also at the same time with online, ODL or regular mode. So you have to take the benefit there because you have to face a problem which are unseen. And Alvin Toffler was one of the, he died a few years ago. He had authored one book of the future shocks. In that he said that we have to prepare, fraternity of education has to prepare a next generation like that they can have a capability and abilities to solve a problem. Just now we are not talking about it, just now we haven't seen it, and for that purpose we don't know 10 years after, 20 years after which problem will arise, and to overcome that problem, the education today, you have to acquire the abilities and competencies that at that time which problem we don't know, but even though we have a confidence that we can solve when the problem will arise in front of us. Wishing best for that. I feel that you will be competent for that to solve that problem which is unseen, and you will be a builder of the nation, which we have a dream of our Honorable Prime Minister that 2047 Bharat will be Vikasit, and you will be contributors in that. Wishing best for that. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Sunamani sir. You put in a very different aspect of intergenerational equity. That is, we are using resources which are meant for the next generations. So reducing the consumption patterns and changing our habits is the key to sustainable development. This is the thought you brought up. Thank you very much for that. You also brought in Mahatma Gandhi's thoughts, and it just reminded me of being an environmental law student myself. This reminded me of the quote that earth has sufficient for everyone's need, but it doesn't have sufficient for everyone's greed. Thank you, sir, once again for your sharing your thoughts. Now we to the prize distribution ceremony, an interesting part of this valedictory session. We have announced 3 prizes for offline research paper presenters and 2 prizes for online research paper presenters. So I'll first announce the names of the offline research paper presenters, best research paper presenters, and I would request Dr. Srivastava sir to felicitate them. Miss Purti Gangal. Is she there? Dr. Srivastava felicitating Miss Purti Gangal. As a best research paper presenter. Sir. I request Dr. Sunamani sir to felicitate Dr. Sumit Gaikwad. Next researcher is Dr. Sandeep Rathod. and Mr. Ashish Joshi. They may not be present in this auditorium. There are two more certificates of appreciation. The first certificate of appreciation is for Dr. Tanuja Devi ma'am. I request Shri Pradeep Naik sir to present the certificate. Dr. Tanuja Devi has been relentlessly working for last 3 months for this conference. She has been contacting outside persons and organizing everything. I also request Pradeep Naik sir to felicitate Shri Abhishek Rokde sir. Rokde sir has been, as we all know, the in charge for media and communication, and he has also taken a lot of efforts for making this event happen. So they were the special certificates of appreciation for our faculties who have put in really great efforts in organizing this conference. I would request the dignitaries to get seated. There is a request from one of the participants to present her views on the conference. So now I request Ms. Pranjul Thakur from St. Mira's College. She has expressed her desire to present her thoughts.
Good afternoon, respected dignitaries, faculty members, and participants. I am Pranjul Thakur from St. Mira's College for Girls. I am grateful for the opportunity to be a part of this international conference on inclusive innovation and sustainable economic and social transformation. I would like to sincerely appreciate MES GCC College of Commerce for organizing such a wonderful event. The conference was very well planned and properly organized, making it an enriching experience. Personally, I believe that we would all agree that each session offered us a meaningful insights and helped us to understand important issues related to sustainability, inclusion, innovation, and social responsibility. The discussion encouraged us to think in many different directions. It also helped us to look the real world problems with a much broader perspective. The dignified speakers shared practical knowledge, diverse viewpoints, and valuable experience, which made the session engaging and thought-provoking. I believe this conference has definitely motivated us to learn more, to question more, and to think beyond textbooks. Lastly, I sincerely appreciate the efforts of organizing committee and all these dignified speakers for making this conference such a meaningful and wonderful learning experience. Thank you.
Thank you, Pranjul Madam, for your feedback and words of appreciation. I would now request Shri Pradeep Naik, Vice President of Maharashtra Education Society, to present his conclusive remarks.
नमस्कार. Dignitaries on the dais, Sri Sanjay Sunil sir, Honorable Thakur sir, Sri Srivastav sir, and all distinguished guests, faculty members, and dear students. Over the past 2 days, this international conference has brought together diverse ideas and perspectives united by the theme Inclusive Innovations for Sustainable Economic and Social Transformation. The discussion have already shown us that innovation is not confined to advanced technology or large financial investments. True innovations begins with curiosity, the courage to question conventional practices, and a sincere desire to create meaningful change. Sustainability is deeply rooted in our ancient Indian values. Our traditions teach us coexistence and harmony with nature. Our God, goddess are symbolically associated with animal, bird, trees, rivers, etc., reminding us that nature is sacred and must be protected. This cultural wisdom inspires us to see innovation not as something external but as a way of living responsibility and creativity. Innovations are more impactful when they address everyday problems and serve the society at large. They need not always be complex or resource intensive. Sometimes a simple change in perspective or practice can transform lives. What matters is the intent, no improve system, reduce waste and create solutions that benefit communities. As we conclude this conference under the guidance of distinguished dignitaries and collaborative partners, MES Garwari College of Commerce, Gokhale Institute of Politics and Economics, ILS Law College, and IRS, let us carry forward the spirit of curiosity, responsibility, and inclusivity. May the ideas shared here inspire us to challenge traditional patterns, embrace sustainable practices, and work collectively for a better future. Thank you.
Thank you, sir, for your concluding remarks. As we are moving towards the end of this conference, I now request our Vice Principal, Dr. Vinayak Pawar, sir, to present the vote of thanks. Dr. Vinayak Pawar.
Good afternoon, everyone. On behalf of Garwari College of Commerce and Organizing Committee, I extend my heartfelt gratitude to who all made this international conference grand success. We are deeply honored by the presence of our chief guest, guest of honor, and distinguished dignitaries from the academia and industry. Your insights have enriched our sessions and inspired our participants.
A special thanks to our collaborative partners, Center for Sustainable Development of Gokhale Institute of Politics and Economics, ILS Law College, and IBS Pune for their constant support. We are also grateful our acknowledge our knowledge partners, Savitribai Phule Pune University, the Institute of Cost Accountants of India, Bhandarkar Oriental Research Institute, Bori, Yashwantrao Chauhan Maharashtra Open University, YCMU Nasik, Cage Business School, Vijay Bhumi University, and Indira Gandhi National Open University, IGNOU. Your association has added immense academic value to this conference. We are especially grateful to our MES patrons, Air Marshal Bhushanji Gokhale, retired President of MES, Sri Pradeepji Naik, Vice President of MES, Sri Babasaheb Shinde, Chairman MES Governing Body, Srimati Ananditai Patil, Vice Chairman MES Governing Body, Sri C.A. Rahul Mirazar Sir, Chairman CDC of MES GCC, Dr. Rajiv Hazarni Sir, Dr. Dilip Seth, GB members, Dr. Atul Kulkarni, Secretary of MES. Their vision and encouragement have given us the strength to think differently and to design interdisciplinary conference bringing together commerce, economics, law, and management under the one platform. I extend my heartfelt thanks to all the guests, Dr. Parag Kalkar, Pro Vice Chancellor, SPPU Pune, Dr. Sanjeev Sonone, Vice Chancellor, YCMU Nasik, Dr. Ravikesh Srivastav, Vice Chancellor, Vijay Bhime University, Karjat, Sri Santosh Bhave sir from Bharat Forge, Dr. Deepa Paturkar Madam, ILS Law College, and Sri Ashutosh Kulkarni sir. Thanks to our supporters who have shouldered the responsibility for arranging this international conference financially and making this conference easy to arrange. I extend my sincere appreciation to our principal, Dr. Kishore Desada, Dr. Gomte Patil, convener of this conference, Dr. Tanuja Devi Madam, all teaching and non-teaching staff members, faculty coordinators, technical teams, student volunteers, and support staff whose tireless efforts to ensure smooth execution of every session of this conference. A warm thanks also goes to the caterers who have provided us a delicious food and hospitality throughout the program. Thanks to a social media team, journalism department students, and finally, I thank all paper presenters and participants for their enthusiastic engagement, which made the conference intellectually vibrant and meaningful. With this, we formally conclude the valedictory session. Thank you once again, and we look forward to continue collaboration and many more academic endeavors in the future. Thank you all.
Thank you.
We'll be formally concluding this session with Janagana Mana Rashtragit. So I invite the student please.
जनगण मन अधिनायक जय हे भारत भाग्य विधाता पंजाब सिंध गुजरात मराठा द्राविड उत्कल बंगा विंध्य हिमाचल यमुना गंगा उच्छल जलधि तरंगा तव शुभ नामे जागे तव शुभ आशीष मागे गाहे तव जय गाथा जनगण मंगलदायक जय हे भारत भाग्य विधाता जय हे जय हे जय हे जय 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 हे
There is